Hello, welcome back. I'm a paramedic. This is McParamedic Daily. Today we've got another update for you coming from the tech side of things. In the recent news, 5G is here. Now, is 5G safe? Jurassic Park actually has a famous doctor, Dr. Ian Malcolm, and he once said, "Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should." When it comes to technology, it can be both a blessing and a curse. In the past 75 years alone, our technological advances have far outpaced the rest of history. A lot of good comes out of advancing tech, but there's always a risk. One of the latest feats comes from Elon Musk and his company Tesla. They engineered and manufactured self-driving vehicles. While this is a momentous feat, there also comes inherent risks. Will the cars be safe in the near and the distant future? Can you hack these cars? Is there any way to tamper with them? These are all issues that could arise in the near future. These Tesla cars, they're going to be in the hands of thousands of people, possibly affecting millions while on the road. And this is a large amount of people, but there's an advancement in the works that far outpaces the impact Tesla cars could have. 5G. And 5G is here. 5G technology claims to be able to deliver internet speeds 10 to 100 times that of the predecessor, 4G. Instead of seeing 4G's megabits per second, we're going to be seeing gigabits per second on our download speeds. With these speeds, downloading movies, songs, video games, TV shows, they're only going to take a matter of seconds rather than, for a video game, 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on your internet connection. 5G could also endorse new theories in specific applications regarding augmented reality, which is a big one, virtual reality, autonomous cars. Another big one is artificial intelligence. We could start seeing smart cities and new phone applications. The first 5G, the first wave, has already hit the streets. There's three companies that are claiming to be the first. There's a South Korean telecom company. They claim to be the overall first ones. But here in the U.S., AT&T and Verizon, they're currently locking horns on who is the victor of producing 5G first. AT&T states they've already implemented 5G, and I believe they made an announcement on December 18th of 2018 that they've already implemented it into 12 different cities, where Verizon states that they had implemented it into Chicago and Minneapolis prior to December 18th. But regardless, whoever pulls out first in the 5G race is looking at an estimated global revenue of $12.3 trillion by 2035. That is a lot of money. How does 5G work? In order to properly understand 5G, you have to digest how 4G works. 4G and all the phones that come before it, all the wireless mobile phones, are based on a radio frequency band of the electromagnetic spectrum. An estimated 1.5 billion people by the end of this year will be using 4G networks. This many people, for lack of a better analogy, can clog the highways and slow down data service and the information going through the radio waves. This is primarily the reason why many companies don't provide unlimited data anymore, and they actually reduce your speeds after a certain cap is hit per month. 4G, they use radio waves. 5G will be using millimeter waves. The difference is the radio waves are a smaller wave, and when I say smaller frequency, and when I say smaller frequency, if you were to look at what a radio wave looks like, it's a larger up and down motion. This is measured in centimeters for the radio waves. For 5G and the millimeter waves, they're measuring it in millimeters, and so the radio waves will be a lot higher frequency, up to 100 times higher frequency. This is going to basically generate new highways of cellular activity, as well as being much faster speeds. Now, the big question is, are we in danger? While minimal public testing that I've found has been studied, 5G companies claim that this is not a dangerous technology to human health. The main concern is the energy required to produce such intense internet speeds could also cause cancer or lesions mimicking radiation exposure. Now, while the skeptics have stated that the induction of what 5G is going to be using, which is non-ionizing radiation. They're saying that it can cause thermal burns, skin damage, DNA impairment, but the science is saying otherwise. For non-ionizing radiation to cause harm, you need to be introduced to a massive amount of it, like standing next to a transmitter or a tower, or being exposed to it over long periods of time, like being in an MRI or X-ray machine, some sort of Aranis procedure performed in a clinical or hospital setting. Ionizing radiation, that's a different story. Ionizing radiation is more along the lines of UV light, UV radiation. So the light coming from the sun, that is ionizing radiation. That is direct links to marring skin cells and damaging DNA directly. And that's more in tune with traditional radiation poisoning. 5G does not use the dangerous ionizing radiation in its process. And for the most part, I think the technology is safe. I think it'll enhance our society, especially with the artificial intelligence and the augmented reality. I do think that this is going to be significant advancements in specifically those two sections. We're probably going to see big announcements within the next 5 years after 5G is kind of rolled out globally. Just based on the availability of applications that they can start using, different theories they can start testing. But just to be on the safe side, I don't think I'll be the guinea pig for this one. I'm not going to test this out, use myself or my family to test it out. I'm going to kind of watch the public, look at the stats, make sure it's safe before I use it. And that pretty much wraps up what we have for you today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and remember, it's all of us. It's all of our responsibilities to stay informed.